You vs. Homer is an asymmetrical survival game on Roblox. Now, I know what you're thinking. Asymmetrical. But it's actually one of the good ones. And the reason why is literally because it hasn't had as much thought put into it as the other games. Now, I'm not saying the developers have not cared about their game. What I'm saying is it's so simplistic that it's fun. It brings you back to how games used to feel back in like 2017 or something like that. And it's so fun that I've already played 10 hours of it, and I only found out about it like 2.5 days ago. Now today, I'm going to say my thoughts about You vs. Homer, and there's not going to be too much negative stuff in this video because in my opinion, it is an amazing game. Now, without further ado, let's get into the review. First, we'll begin with the character you will play as most, Mr. Bart Simpson himself. Now, in this game, you basically just don't really have anything in your kit besides a flashlight, pizza, and a taco. But, you know, the pizza and the taco aren't useful. There is a taunt button that plays a little sound, but it does ping your location to Homer, if he sees the ping, obviously. Now, I think playing as Bart isn't actually too bad. It's quite fun, actually, and the fact that you don't have much things in your kit makes it so it's more rewarding when you actually juke the killer. You have to actually use strategy instead of relying on abilities like other games. Like I said, it's simplistic. There's nothing special to Bart except his taunt. That's it. And I like that about him. He's fun to play as, he's got good skins, but I'm pretty sure soon they're adding a dashing ability for Bart. Now, I don't know if I actually really like that much, though, because here's the thing. It's just going to be a bit too easy to escape Homer, which you think is good, but what about when you play as Homer? I don't know, maybe they'll reconsider it, but I'm not sure. But other than that, Bart is a very, very good person to play as, and I don't think it's annoying at all, sometimes. Now we're moving on to the guy you'll probably like to play as most, Homer Simpson. Now, Homer Simpson actually doesn't have that much like Bart, but if anything, he has way less. He doesn't have a flashlight, he doesn't have pizza or a taco, but like I said, they're not important. He doesn't have that. All he has is his taunt and his kit, so you have to, the only advantage you have is the fact that you are just a little bit faster than Bart. So, Barts cannot outrun you. They will have to juke you. Now, a lot of times you will be juked, and it will be annoying. And also, like I've encountered, for most of my matches, I've gotten close to winning, but there's always that one Bart that is hiding. They can also just escape by hiding. They're not always in the open. They like to stay in the open a lot for some reason, but they're not always out in the open. And, yeah, Homer actually takes strategy to use. He doesn't have abilities. As of the time of recording this, they might add abilities to him like they're doing with Bart, but I actually hope not. It's fine as it is. And, like, yeah, he's simplistic. He's fun and simple. You don't need to throw in too much to make him fun. All you need is just the fact that he's a little bit faster. But it's still, that doesn't mean you have the upper hand here, okay? And that's what I like. Both sides actually feel equal in this game. Besides on some maps like Spaceship. But it's fair. It's nice. And I really like how fair it is. A lot of asymmetrical games are not fair, and they make me very mad. But I don't think I've ever gotten mad at versus Homer. Most times I die, I just laugh and shrug it off. Now let's move on to the maps. Now, a lot of the maps in this game are actually pretty nice. And I like them, but here's the thing. There's not much at the time of recording this, and that's fine. The game is still in its alpha phase. I think, is it beta? I'm not sure. I think it's beta or alpha. But, so it only has, from what I can think of, like 4 or 5 maps, and you'll get used to them very quickly. Now, a lot of them pretty much require time on this game for you to actually be good at them. I know, that's crazy. You have to spend time in a game for you to be good at it. But a lot of them have hidden spots and stuff like that. So if you play for your first couple of times and you suck really badly, that's just because the maps take lots and lots of learning. And for maps like Moe's Tavern, you have to be good at not bee hopping, that's a completely different game. You have to be good at wall hopping so you can escape certain situations, otherwise you're just dead. Now, I think we all know the map that I'm going to talk about, and that is Spaceship. Now, Spaceship is... it's not really that fun for both sides. But honestly, I think it's funny, like how bad it is, you know. So don't fix Spaceship because it's funny. But let me explain why it's bad. There are these big doors that have Bart Simpson on them. That has nothing to do with it, but I'm just saying, like, what they look like. And they can open if you walk up to them, or they have a chance, I don't know the chance, of just not opening and blaring a very loud red light. So that, yeah, it does a red light and it makes a very loud noise. So it could possibly even alert Homer to your location. And there are times where you keep running into the door and it keeps failing over and over again. Now, a lot of the times, I actually get pretty lucky with this map. There are times where I've gone unlucky, obviously, but I feel like the chance for the doors to fail aren't that high. But, yeah. Spaceship is just not a good map, and you can get lost very, very easily, and especially as Homer, with how big the map is, it's so difficult to kill everyone, and especially when they knock out the lights. You are going to be struggling if they knock out the lights, because you can only see so far in front of you, because like I said, Homer does not have a flashlight in his kit. Now let's discuss the future for you versus Homer. Now, I think, it might not live as long to see, say, like 2 years, or maybe even a year into the future. It might die out, which is very sad, because this is a game with a very repetitive loop that can only be done so many times until all the players just stop. Because one of the issues of it being so simplistic is that after you play for a while, it can get pretty boring. But yeah, so the player base might die out. Unfortunately, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that they keep making updates, they add new maps, they add new skins, and, you know, the tools would be pretty cool. I like the tools, though, even though it says they're coming 2036, that's obviously a joke, though. Let's just hope that you versus Homer lives to see many years from now, because I think it has so much potential to be an amazing game, more than it already is. In conclusion, I think this game is amazing, and I will continue to play it for many, many days, maybe even months, depends on how frequent they update. I love it, I might even do streams on it, and I'm definitely doing Let's Plays on it. Can't wait to see the future for you versus Homer. Peace.